Hello, and welcome to another episode of Pint Time with Backpacker Mike. I'll be trying this Energy City Brewing Company's Aloha Sunshine Sorbet. It's actually a pineapple orange IPA, and the fruit was added after fermentation. And I gotta say, Energy City really knocks it out of the park with these. This is a collaboration, however. It's brewed and packaged for Energy City Brewing Company at Church Street Brewing Company in Itasca, Illinois. So if any of you are by Itasca, Illinois, let me know. Comes in at 6% on the Richter scale, but there you go. Aloha Sunshine Sorbet. All right, but first let's get into the American history that people get wrong more often than not. And let's talk about who created the original American flag. Now, I was taught my whole life to think that it was Betty Ross, but it was actually not Betty Ross. It was rather Frances Hopkinson. Betsy Ross was never credited with the creation of the flag at any point in her lifetime, ever. It wasn't until nearly a century later, in 1870, and 20 years after her death, actually, that she was credited, that anyone gave her credit, basically. William J. Canby presented the Society of Pennsylvania and Ross was established. He basically wrote this letter stating, Ross was the creator of the flag, and basically established Ross as the American legend for creating the first American flag. However, Canby was also Ross's grandson. Historians aren't 100% sure that Ross deserves the credit. However, some historians believe it was actually Frances Hopkinson, a member of the Continental Congress at the time, namely because he made claim to it while he was still alive, and he also put it in his memoirs that he was the one who created the flag. And according to his account, he just wanted one thing as payment, and that was a quarter cask of wine, of which he never received. Go figure. That's pretty crazy to think about. All right, and I want to give you one more, and that is, who was the first president of the United States? It wasn't George Washington, however, but rather Peyton Randolph. Washington was the country's first elected president by the people. But in 1775, Peyton Randolph was the first and the third president appointed by the Continental Congress. In 1783, Thomas Mifflin, an aide to Washington during the war, served as president and ratified the Treaty of Paris. So Thomas Mifflin ratified the Treaty of Paris between England and the colonies to separate the colonies from the English Empire at the time. But John Hancock, however, holds the distinction of serving the most time as president of the Continental Congress, and that's over two separate terms, the fourth and the fifth and the 13th term. He served more than 1,000 days in the role. And just so you know, there were more than a dozen presidents that were appointed by the Continental Congress before Washington was elected by the citizens of the 13 colonies or the United States at the time. And I'm going to give you one more. Have all presidents lived in the White House? The answer is no, they have not. While Washington oversaw the construction of the White House, which was all built by slaves, by the way, beginning in 1792, it wasn't until Adams took office that the president could call it home in 1800. However, Adams and Abigail moved into the White House, but only for 5 months before Thomas Jefferson was elected to office, and they moved out, and Thomas Jefferson moved in. So there you have it. Energy City Aloha Sunshine Sorbet, a pineapple orange IPA. Here we go. Cheers, prost, sláinte, and skål for my Nordic friends. You know who you are. Very pineapple on the nose for sure. And the fruit was added after fermentation, which I think is like the perfect thing to do, honestly. Oh yeah, that is phenomenally delicious. It's as if I'm drinking a pineapple orange juice followed up with a slight little tangy bitterness of hops in the back of the palate, but that is so good. Let's just do a hard pour real quick for you guys so you can see what it looks like. You know what? I'm just going to pour the rest of it in here. It's a bit like a smoothie kind of IPA, but definitely can't see through that. Yeah, this is by far, when you hard pour it, the bitterness and the pineapple and the orange juice all sort of blend together. You don't even know that you're drinking whatever it is, 6%. Yeah, 6%. You don't even know that you're drinking 6%. This by far is amazing. I highly recommend trying this, especially if you're a first-time IPA person. Energy City Brewing Company, or in collaboration with Church Street Brewing Company in Itasca, Illinois. I highly recommend this for sure. It is delicious, and I am going to give it a 10. Energy City Brewing Company has nailed it every single time I have ever had an Energy City Brewing Company beer. This is delicious. It's like drinking fresh juice with a kick. Delicious. Anyway, guys, if you can get that, go out and grab it for sure. And as always, peace, love, and let's continue to experience this beautiful world together. And I'll see you guys next time on Pint Time with Backpacker Mike. Peace.